After extensive studies of the scriptures and the historical materials, I have concluded that Jesus did not understand himself to be the Messiah. That he was mistaken when he predicted the end of the world during his own lifetime, and that many of the accounts of the Last Supper were creations of the early church writers.
The divinity of Jesus, the nature of the resurrection, the nature of the crucifixion and the value of the crucifixion. All of these were brought up by Schweitzer for question, and many people were upset.
But I understood you. You were drawn to the Jesus who fed the hungry and healed the sick.
It struck me as inconceivable that I should be able to lead such a happy life, while so many people around me struggled with sorrow and suffering. I want to free myself from this bourgeois life that would kill all the humanity in me. I am suffocating. I must free myself.
Then one day you found out about the way Europeans treated Africans in the colonies.
If only half of the cruelties reported were actually committed there, no responsible person could remain a calm observer. I've got to do something.
It was then I knew our paths would unite. But there was one obstacle in the way, the Paris Mission Society.
The Paris Missionary Society controlled who went to Africa and to other mission fields and who did not.
They had read what you had written about the historical Jesus, and they did not like it one bit.
Dr. Schweitzer, do you even consider yourself Christian?
If you mean, do I believe all the dogma and doctrines of the Church, the answer is no. But am I trying to live my life according to Jesus, to help those most in need? The answer is certainly yes.
While we admire your willingness to serve, we have read your theology, and quite frankly, we find it disturbing. You must understand, the work of this society is to heal not only the body of the African, but the soul as well. Placing you in their midst could jeopardize years of work.
I have a doctorate in philosophy, a teaching degree in theology. I am a pastor and musician. I have studied and written extensively on Bach. But I must tell you, all these things I have experienced have failed to quench my thirst. And that is why I returned to study medicine, so as a doctor I can be of comfort to those who suffer. For I have come to believe the sole truth and happiness consists in serving God, wherever He needs us, and I believe where I am needed most is Africa.
He went one by one to the members of this Paris Missionary Society. He spoke with them in some impassioned and personal way and helped to convince them that he wasn't such a bad guy after all. And then he promised that he would go and do his medical work, and he himself would remain as silent as a fish.
I saw important people become like children in the presence of my father.
Oh, you could be very persuasive.
Dr. Schweitzer, after deliberation, we have decided, reluctantly, that we will allow you to go to Africa, on one condition, that you promise only to practice medicine. You are not to preach or teach your radical notions to the Africans in any way.
I agree.
After that meeting, you wrote me,
But what will be my fate? I go there to be with Jesus. He may do with me what he will, and I will find out what those words mean that Jesus said, "Who loses his life for me and for my word, he will keep it."